exploring principle of emergence, a philosophy of science perspective.
Welcome to the Universal Principles podcast. Today, we're diving into the fascinating concept of emergence. It's all about how complex systems create properties that their individual parts just don't have on their own. Think ant colonies or even the internet. But what does emergence mean in the philosophy of science?
Thanks for having me. In the philosophy of science, emergence challenges reductionism, the idea that everything can be explained by breaking it down into its smallest parts. What's fascinating about the principle of emergence is that it suggests that new and unpredictable properties arise when those parts interact. These emergent properties are not simply the sum of their parts, they're something truly novel, requiring a different level of analysis.
Okay, that makes sense. So it's more than just adding things together. Could you walk us through a concrete example where the principle of emergence plays a significant role in philosophy of science?
Absolutely. One classic example is studying how simple molecules form complex life. You can analyze each individual molecule all day, but you won't necessarily predict the emergent properties of a living cell, like consciousness or reproduction. The interaction and organization of these molecules give rise to something entirely new and unexpected.
That's mind-blowing. So it's about the relationships between the components. Can you give another example showing how the principle of emergence applies?
Consider ecosystems. You can study individual species, but understanding biodiversity requires examining the interactions between those species. Complex food webs, symbiotic relationships, and competition all lead to emergent properties like ecosystem resilience and overall stability. These aren't properties of a single species, but of the entire interacting system.
So individual bees don't create honey, but the colony does a circumflex euros emergence in action. Is there a similar principle in another field that echoes this idea?
Definitely. In neurobiology, we see emergent properties all the time. Individual neurons firing are relatively simple events, but the collective activity of billions of neurons gives rise to consciousness, memory, and thought. It's not just about the individual neurons, it's the way they connect and interact that creates these emergent phenomena. That's why understanding the connectome, the brain's wiring diagram, is so crucial.
Fascinating. Okay, so how can we apply the principle of emergence practically in our daily lives or work?
Great question. First, focus on the interactions between components, not just the components themselves. Second, embrace experimentation and observation to identify unexpected outcomes. Third, foster collaboration and diverse perspectives to create richer interactions within a system. For example, in software, focusing on API interactions rather than individual functions.
Great advice. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for shedding light on the principle of emergence and its significance in philosophy of science. It's definitely given me something to think about.
My pleasure. It's a principle that keeps us humble and reminds us that the whole is often much more than the sum of its parts. Until next time, keep exploring.